You are at a party. 23 people in this room. You know most of them. Someone handed you a drink 20 minutes ago, and you are still holding it. Slightly warm now, because drinking it would mean you had to do something with your hands. You have checked your phone 3 times in the last 5 minutes. Not because anyone texted, just because the screen gives you somewhere to look that isn't another person's face. You feel completely alone. And the worst part, the part you will turn over quietly before you fall asleep, is that you cannot explain why. You are not shy. You are surrounded by people who know your name. And still, something underneath the noise of this room is pulling at you like a current, steady and cold, telling you that you do not belong here. That feeling has a name, and it is much older than you are. There is a reason the loneliest people on the planet are often the ones with the most people around them. And when I show you what your brain is actually doing in those moments, what ancient machinery is running underneath modern life, you will not be able to unsee it. Imagine you are separated from your group at nightfall, 50,000 years ago. Not lost, you know roughly where you are, but the sun dropped faster than you did. The woodland is dark, and the sounds around you are not the sounds of your band settling in for the night. They are other sounds. Every hair on your body is standing. Your heart is slamming against the inside of your chest. Your vision has narrowed to a tunnel. You are alone, and your brain knows exactly what that means. This is not a metaphor. This is not anxiety. This is a biological alarm system firing at full volume, because in the environment your brain was built for, being separated from your group at night was not uncomfortable. It was fatal. Statistically, almost certainly fatal. The group was everything. Humans survived not because we were the strongest animal on the savannah. We were not, but because we cooperated. A band of 40 or 50 people could share warmth, rotate watch, hunt large animals together, care for children who couldn't yet outrun anything. The group was food. The group was fire. The group was the difference between waking up tomorrow and not. So the brain built a warning system, a pain signal so sharp and so urgent it would override everything: hunger, fatigue, distraction, and drive you, compulsively, back toward your people. Not tomorrow, tonight, before something in the dark made the decision for you. That warning system is loneliness. Not a mood, not a personality flaw, a survival alarm, as ancient and as functional as thirst, as hunger, as the sting when you touch something hot. Thirst tells your body it needs water. Loneliness tells your nervous system it needs something it is not getting, and in the world this brain was built for, not getting it was a death sentence. Here is the part that gets strange. The individuals who felt no pain when isolated, the ones for whom separation produced only mild discomfort, those people didn't come back fast enough. Their genes and their easy relationship with solitude disappeared with them. The ones who survived were the ones who couldn't stand it, the ones for whom the pain was so acute, so physically unbearable, that they ran, through the dark, toward the firelight, toward the voices. You are descended from the ones who ran. Which means that burning feeling at the party, that inexplicable ache of not belonging, is not a malfunction. It is the most ancient, most precisely engineered piece of software in your nervous system, doing exactly what it was built to do. The problem is the world it's doing it in. In 2003, Naomi Eisenberger put people inside a brain scanner at UCLA and had them play a simple video game. They believed they were playing a ball-tossing game with 2 other players online. For a while, the other players included them. Then, without warning, the other players stopped passing to them. No explanation, just ignored. What Eisenberger saw in the scans stopped her cold. The regions lighting up, the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, the anterior insula, were the same regions that activate when you experience physical pain. Not similar, not adjacent. The same tissue, processing social rejection the way it processes a burn, a fracture, a wound. The brain does not draw a clean line between the pain of a broken bone and the pain of being left out. This is architecture. Social pain was built on top of the physical pain system because that was the fastest way to make it matter. You cannot argue with physical pain. You cannot reason past it. By routing social exclusion through the same hardware, evolution made it impossible to ignore. And then it added cortisol. John Cacioppo at the University of Chicago spent decades studying chronic loneliness. What he found, lonely people have measurably elevated cortisol running through their systems on a near constant basis. Their immune system suppressed, their sleep disrupted, not less sleep, lighter sleep, more waking through the night, less time in deep, restorative stages. Paciapo understood why. In the ancestral environment, sleeping alone was the most dangerous thing you could do. The brain kept partial watch all night, alert to sound, primed to wake, ready to run. In a locked apartment in a city of 3 million people, the same system runs through the night anyway. Not because there is a threat, because the brain believes there might be. But here is what is most insidious. Lonely people begin to change the way they read other people. The brain in isolation enters a hypervigilance loop. It scans social environments, not for connection, but for danger. Neutral expressions read as hostile. An unreturned smile becomes a rejection. A friend who takes too long to reply becomes evidence of abandonment. The result is a system designed to push you toward your tribe, slowly and systematically pushing you away from it. Julianne Holt-Lundstad analyzed data from 3.4 million people and found that chronic loneliness increases the risk of early death by 26%. Being chronically lonely is as physically harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. In 2023, the United States Surgeon General declared loneliness a public health epidemic. More adults today report having no close friends than at any point in the history of modern survey data. The number has tripled since 1990. We built the most connected civilization in the history of the species, and we are lonelier than we have ever been. You wake up in a city of 3 million people. Within arm's reach of your bed is a device connecting you, in real time, to 800 contacts, 400 followers, 2 billion users. Your brain looks at all of this and sees strangers. Not tribe, not the 40-person band whose faces it can read, whose voices mean safety in the dark. Strangers, and the alarm fires anyway. The brain does not measure connection in numbers. It cannot feel the difference between 800 contacts and 0 if none of them carry the signal the ancestral brain recognizes as belonging. Shared meals, physical proximity, eye contact, the sound of someone breathing in the same room. Numbers are not the signal, presence is. Then, separated from your band at nightfall, cortisol spikes, heart slams, vision tunnels, the threat is real. Now, lying in bed in a city of 3 million, phone beside you, cortisol spikes, heart slams, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. The alarm is identical. The predator no longer exists. The brain does not know the difference. Go back to that party. 23 people, warm drink, phone in hand, completely, inexplicably alone. Now you know what is happening. Your brain scanned the room and found no tribal markers, no deep familiarity, no one whose face carries the weight of someone who has seen you at your worst and stayed anyway. It cataloged the room as strangers, and it fired the alarm. Not because you are broken, because the system is working exactly as designed, in a world the design never anticipated. The loneliest people are surrounded by the most. Not despite the crowd. Because of what the crowd tells a brain built for a band of 50, there are people here, and none of them are yours. You are a creature built for a world that no longer exists. A world of small groups and shared fires and the specific, irreplaceable weight of being known by the people who sleep nearby. And then, in the space of 10,000 years, a blink, in evolutionary terms, you built a civilization so vast and so full of strangers that the system designed to keep you connected started firing into empty air. If you have felt that alarm go off in a crowded room, in a full inbox, in a relationship that looked fine from the outside, you were not imagining it, you were not being dramatic. You were hearing a very old signal, doing exactly what it was designed to do, in a world it was never designed for. Loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the absence of the one thing evolution never prepared you to live without. The feeling that someone would notice if you disappeared.